What the hell is Saw Sports or whatever that last call was talking about? What the hell is that?
Guys are from Free Love, man.
What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to Saw Sports. I'm your host, Ed Honcho. Today we're going to get into whether or not after week 3 in the NFL, if the Texans are a top 10 team. So if you're not familiar with Saw Sports is a Houston Texans homer network. We talk all sports, but only Houston. This is primarily the Texans channel, so if you want daily Houston Texans content, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you want the other professional, amateur, collegiate content, make sure you go to Saw Sports TV and subscribe. All the links are in the description below. Make sure you're following all the proper social medias listed below on if you want to keep updated with what we got going on here at Saw Sports. But let's stop wasting time. Let's get into it right now, starting with the ESPN Power Rankings. All right, so we're going to address the ESPN Power Rankings first. You see they'll be on the side over here. And again, this is Sauce Sports. Sauce requires ingredients to have good flavor. You are the freshest ingredients, so I want to know your feelings. Make sure you hit that comment section down below whether you agree, you disagree. Like I said, I'm going to give you a few major power rankings. I'm going to give you my personal opinion at the end of the video. If you agree or disagree, let me know how you feel, man. So ESPN has it Pats, Chiefs, Rams, Cowboys, Packers, Ravens at number 6, number 7 Saints, 8 Vikings, 9 Seahawks, and your Texans right at the brink of the top 10, sitting at number 10. And I feel a particular kind of way about this, but like I said, I'm not going to get all the way into it until my personal feelings, and I'll let you know why. But let's go ahead and get into the USA Today Power Rankings. All right, and the USA Today has a lot of similar standings to the ESPN. Again, Pats and Chiefs, both number 1 and 2, respectively. But then you have a change at number 3 at the Ravens instead of the Rams. Then at 4 and 5, similar to ESPN, you have the Cowboys and the Packers. Where you have the exchange between the Ravens and the Rams is instead of the Rams being number 3, they have at number 6. You have the Vikings and Saints, which is reversed from the ESPN at 7 and 8. And then at number 9, you have the Texans. And then the 49ers to round out the top 10. So that's USA Today. And again, in that area, it's really very similar. The only change, like I say, the big change, the only real difference is you see the 49ers up there instead of the Seahawks, which I find to be interesting. But let's get into one more of the national media power rankings, and then I will share my thoughts on what they got right and what they got wrong, in my opinion. And again, like I said, I want to know how you feel. Hit that comment section below and let me know what you think, whether you agree with the national media or you disagree with me or however it may be. But stay tuned. And so the third national media outlet that I want to get to in their power rankings, and again, the consensus is still the same. Pats number 1, Chiefs number 2. AFC is looking a little tough this year, especially for the Texans. And if they want to be in that conversation, those are going to be the teams to beat, which is very interesting because they play both of those teams this year. And like I said, it's Bleacher Report. So again, Pats number 1, number 2, the Chiefs. I know Houston Texans fans will love the fact that they have the Cowboys at number 3. Everybody knows the Texans love Cowboys fans. The Rams at 4, Packers at 5, which is a consensus across the board. They have the Vikings at 6, Ravens at 7, the Bills 8, 49ers 9, the Saints at 10. So they don't even have the Texans in the top 10. And then you have the Bears, the Colts, and then at 13, unlucky number 13, they have the Texans. And I'm going to be honest, I don't agree with this one so much. And it's not because of where they have the Texans necessarily, but some of the teams and some of the orders that they have. But like I say, not to give away too much about where I'm going to personally rank it, so I'm going to get into that because let's just get into it now. It's not even waste of time. I'll let you know where I think the Texans stand after Week 3, 2019 in the NFL. So my power ranking is a little bit different, and honestly, it's not necessarily a true power ranking. It's kind of where do the Texans fall? Are they a top 10 team right now? Right now you have 7 teams, and again, this way, over here. You have 7 teams that are currently undefeated in the NFL. I'm not going to put the Texans over any of those teams, whether I feel like the Texans have played more meaningful games or these teams have won easy games. I'm not going to put the Texans over any of those teams because, like I say, you are what your schedule is. You have to play the games that are there. If you've successfully won all those games, regardless of how tough it is or how easy it was, I won't place the Texans over any of those teams. So then that starts at number 8. And at number 8, you have a couple of 2-1 teams out there that I think you have to look at. And I'm going to go with Vikings at number 8 because even though they've played a schedule, they faced some teams that are not that great. They had dominant wins, and so that means by 2 or more scores, and you have to accredit them for that. I mean, if you're going to play easier teams, you should have significant wins over it. I think dominance is important. People say a win is a win, but I think dominance matters. You can have a win and squeak by in the last minute by a single point, or you can go out there and just beat the brakes off a team from the very beginning and kind of towards the end, maybe they play catch up once you ease off the gas. Number 9, even though they're not the same team they were, I'm going to go with the Saints. And the reason why I put the Saints in front of the Texans is because straight up, when they did have Breeze, they beat us. So I can't justify saying, the Texans are a better team than the Saints when basically, head to head, they got the victory regardless of who they are now. When we played, the record says they beat the Texans, so it is what it is. Now that I think we would have, possibly an advantage with Breeze being out. Number 10, I will put the Texans at number 10. And the reason why I say that is I think the Ravens are overrated. Had a bunch of easy wins, and then when you saw when they played the Chiefs, and again, the Chiefs is not this vaunted defense. The Chiefs are not this just spectacular defense. They're all right, but you saw Lamar Jackson struggle. The only reason they even got remotely back in the game because he threw up a couple of prayers that 9 times out of 10, 9.5 times out of 10 would not have been catches. I mean, they were just really lucky catches. And again, like I said, he just kind of threw it up and was glad that the receiver caught it. Any other time, those probably would have been interceptions. So I'm not really sold on the Ravens. Again, they played some easy teams. I think they had Arizona, Miami, if I'm not mistaken. Easy teams, easy wins. So I can't give them credit over the Texans. I think the Texans are overall a better offense. I think Deshaun Watson is a better quarterback. It is what it is. You can, again, argue with me in that comment section below if you want to. And there are a couple other 2-1 teams. I do believe that we're better than the Seahawks overall. I saw the Bleacher Report that they gave the Colts more love than us, but the Colts again squeaked by barely on a couple of wins. I think less than touchdowns. So even though the Texans' wins have not been, like I say, blowouts, I just feel like they're a better team. So we'll kind of go with that. And the fact that I think they played slightly better competition than some of these other teams and have come out with the victories. So yes, I do believe right now, as it stands, week 3 in the NFL, that the Texans are a top 10 team right there on the brink. Going against Carolina, I don't know what it proves because you're going to go against Kyle Allen, no Cam Newton. Cam Newton has looked terrible, so it actually might be an upgrade. It actually might be a tougher Carolina team than what we would have faced had Cam Newton been playing with injury. And actually, right before recording this video, I saw that he's trying to avoid surgery. So there's my take on that. But I want you to stay tuned because I'm going to start doing something special in these videos, and I don't want you to miss it. So check that out right now. So again, man, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you're following all the proper social medias below. But I want you guys to stay tuned because, I like to throw a little bonus at the end of each video. So what I'm going to start doing with some of these recorded videos is picking and choosing various comments. And at the end of the video, just kind of addressing your comments directly. Because, like I say, I try to reply to as many as I can, and I try to be on the Twitter. I try to look. Hey, I got arthritis. Ain't nobody got time for that. Nah, but I'm gonna be honest. I have big hands, and I hate using the phone. I got a note, and it still feels small. And I do a bunch of typing, so I just rather address it directly. And so, hey, that's what I'm saying. Make sure you hit that comment section below, and maybe, who knows, your comment might be one that gets addressed at the end of a Soft Sports video. But with that being said, y'all go ahead and check out this comment of the video. I don't know what to call it. We'll figure out what we call it anyway. But I appreciate you for watching, and go ahead and check that out. It's your boy Ed Honcho. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool, but most of all, y'all stay saucy. All All right, so like I said, I wanted to do, I'm starting doing the comment of the video. So here's the comment of this video, one I just recently got. Was having an exchange with this gentleman, and I guess he was upset, didn't like my answer. So he says, yo, you're a hater. A win is a win, just like the Saints beat us by 2 points. At the end of the season, it's all about having a good record. Sorry, we can't play Miami every week. Well, here's what I feel about that, Adam Granados. And no, I wouldn't want to play Miami every week. See, my perspective, and I think a lot of the people around here in Salt Sports perspective is different than some of these other places you may talk to other Texans fans. And the reason why I say that is I'm not comparing the Texans to the division. You know, a lot of Texans fans just want to win the division and feel like they're happy with that. At this point, I'm tired of that shit, and I'm comparing the Texans, to the best of the best. So I want to look at the Chiefs. I want to look at the Pats. I want to look at the teams in our conference that we would have to overcome to try to get to an AFC championship, to try to get to a Super Bowl. I'm tired of taking the weak-minded, weak road. And these teams, the Chiefs and the Pats, are winning in a dominant fashion. The Texans are not. So you could be like most Texans fans, be happy, hey, another AFC South division by default. You lost Luck. You lost Foles. And, it kind of is what it is. Mariota is mediocre. We can be happy about beating this division over and over again, especially when we took advantage of injuries, took advantage of lesser talented teams, only to get wiped out in the first round over and over again. It's not about playing teams like Miami. It's about beating quality teams. It's about having dominant wins and proving that you belong in the conversation of the upper echelon of the NFL. Right now, the Texans are not in that conversation. A lot of new pieces, a lot of moving parts that are coming together, and maybe by the end of the year, yes, we can be in that conversation. Sometimes you get lucky. But right now, I don't think anybody in their legitimate mind says the Texans are let me take that back. Somebody did say the Texans were a top 3 team in the NFL. The Texans are not a top team in the NFL as far as top 5. Top 10, I put them there as you just saw, but they're not a top 3, top 5. They might not even be top 3 in the AFC. So what I'm saying is, it's not about being a hater. It's about being realistic, because we saw this team go on a streak and do everything they did last year, only to get wiped out by a team in your own division that you played for the 3rd time, and it wasn't close. So you can continue to have the ice cream, the cake, and the Kool-Aid, or whatever makes you feel good. But at this point, being a Texans fan since the inaugural game, when I was sitting in the stands to this point, I'm tired of, first round exits. I'm tired of not being able to compete. I'm tired of losing to the Patriots. I'm tired of losing big games when it counts. And again, the Chargers game might have been a sign of a change, but who knows? Like I say, we still have a long way to go. And yes, at the end of the season, it's about having a good record to get in the playoffs, but what good is having that good record if you get washed in the first round, similar to last year? That's my take on that. I appreciate y'all staying tuned and watching to the comment of the video. With that being said, y'all stay saucy. It's your boy Honcho, man, and I'm out.
Perfect.